welcome. Today I get to talk with Greg Torre. Greg was on the show just a few weeks ago talking about something a little bit different, but he offered to come back and chat with us about paranormal activity and paranormal equipment. So how are you, Greg?
I'm good. Thank you for having me back.
Yes, and since it's, it's spooky season, it's October, and so we thought this would be a fun topic. So let's go ahead and share a little bit about the paranormal equipment that you've brought with you today.
Mostly everything you see on the table here is all hand built.
Okay.
Minus, the camera and digital voice recorder, things like that. But
awesome. So I wanna go to the car, and you said you started off with this car. You kind of built a model of what you were looking for. Let's talk to me a little bit about the cars that we have on the table.
The cars are meant to be little robots, basically.
Okay.
As a proof of concept, the little car there is RC powered. And then I added a Wi-Fi camera on it that is night vision.
Nice.
Proof of concept, that's all that was for. It doesn't really work that well on rough terrain.
Okay, yeah, I can see why. It's, a little bit smaller. So you had to upgrade and get something that worked a little bit more on the rougher terrain. So tell us about this one.
Well, this is what we call the crawler. And the crawler, I built this. This was a gas chassis Traxxas platform and a Walmart Humvee body.
Okay.
And I needed the turret so I can turn the camera around. And the camera is infrared vision. All the cameras are infrared vision, so you can see at night in the dark.
Nice.
This is also heavy duty. It's 4-wheel drive. I've converted it to a Traxxas electric motor.
All right.
For RC, but
very cool.
The motor that's in it is bigger than this one, so it handles 4x4 very well. It goes very well off track.
So it can be on kind of any terrain that's needed. That's really cool. All right, so what is this here?
This is the control module for the crawler.
So that is what works that.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
There is no circuitry within this body. The only thing that on the crawler itself that has circuitry is the camera.
Okay.
Nothing has circuitry except up here. These are all wires, and it's run through a 30-foot spool of cable that I had to make myself.
Okay.
The cable also has a little hardened rope inside of it, so it's an umbilical. So if it got stuck, died, whatever reason, I can actually pull it back.
You can pull it back. That makes sense.
Yep, and I had to hand make that.
That's awesome. Okay, explain to me this stuff over here.
This is this is your standard EMF detector.
Okay. What's an EMF?
Electromagnetic frequency.
Okay.
When spirits manifest in any way, shape, or form, you can detect that. And we would have tons of these, which you can get at Home Depot for like $5. See, we cut off the plastic end there so that the metal is actually exposed, and just leave it down by itself. If it goes off, beeps, there's something nearby. Okay. And then you got to check other equipment to kind of triangulate, okay, was that just a fluke or was that something within the room?
Okay. And so then what is this box here?
This box is this is the black box, we call it. It's an EMF generator and with pulse. Okay. So what it does is it creates a magnetic field. It's either solid state or it creates a pulse. So you
explain to me that. What do you mean by solid state or pulse?
So if you flip the switch, like it's on, it's not on right now, no batteries in it.
Right.
But if you flip the switch, that activates it. And then the controller is quite immense. So there's a lot you can control the pulse. So what it'll do is there's 2 magnets in there, hand wound.
Okay.
So you would flip it on, and then that energizes it. You have to give it a minute to energize. Once it's energized, you can go ahead and switch on the main magnetic and the electromagnet in there, and then that will just create so if you put metal near it, it's just going to stick to it. It's magnetized.
Right.
Then there's the pulse feature. So what it does is it starts pulsing in alternating magnetic frequencies. So north, south, that's what it'll do. And then you can change that frequency right here. So it can go faster, slower, 3 pulses per second, 2 pulses per second, or 1 pulse per second.
So does that read the electromagnetic frequency as well?
No, it doesn't do that. What it does is it creates
It creates a magnetic frequency.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't want to put anything phone-wise near it within a foot of it. It will destroy it.
Okay.
We've actually measured on it and destroyed an iPhone on it.
Oh, gosh. That's not good.
No.
All right. So you've gone out before and you have taken these tools and you have checked into some paranormal activity, gone on some what would you call them? Like a expedition of sorts?
We would go to clients' houses. We would go to businesses and check for paranormal activity, proof of it.
Okay. So share with me about one of those experiences.
Oh, wow. There was a house that we went to for a client. We had a client that said, we have something in our house.
Okay.
And so he believed it might have been the previous owner or something more not welcome.
Okay.
So we went in, a lot of activity happened. Constant banging, which we checked for pipes,
Sure.
9 times out of 10 when you hear banging out of your house, it's the pipes. So, but when we were at this house in particular, we had things get knocked off shelves. We've had things get broken. Mm-hmm. So with the black box, for example, at that house, we were getting EVP. And an EVP is an electronic voice phenomenon. Okay, it's where you lay the recorder down, and then you're quiet, and you listen later on.
Yeah.
To see if anything said anything, which we can listen to live on the crawler. So what happened was we got an EVP and a voice live saying, "Turn it off, I will destroy it." And that's right as soon as we turned it into EMP mode. So I turned it up as far as it'll go. And we got another EVP and another voice saying, again, "Turn it off, it hurts, turn it off or I'll destroy it." And then 2 minutes later, there's a pop and the battery bay exploded.
Wow. That's super interesting.
But what happened was it stays energized for a good 30 minutes after
Okay.
it's powered off. So what it does is it can either... So we thought up until that point that it can feed them energy. So in a
Okay.
place that's dead, there's no power.
Mm-hmm.
We have something to feed them to manifest if there's an entity there.
Okay.
That's the whole point behind that. And it also strobes, too. So when we were there, yeah, we got pretty spooked out with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So then what do you do at that point? So this person's called you in. They are saying they think that, there is something there. You guys kind of find out that there may be. What do you do at that point? You just kind of share that information with them?
We share everything with them.
Okay. All right. And do you do this for your average person who might be thinking?
We have, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So so someone could contact you if they're watching this and they could get in touch with you and have you guys come out and do this?
Not anymore. Life kind of caught up with all of us, so we kind of split up.
Okay. So you're not doing it right now. But
These are all old.
Just sharing your findings from the past. That's fun. Okay. So why don't you share one more story before we wrap up? Let's do one more.
Oh, man. Well, we were at a business. I'll go with that one. We were at
Okay.
a local business that contacted us, and we went in, and there was a lot of stuff that happened. Things, once again, were getting moved around, shuffled. There was a lot of footsteps and a lot of creaking, knocking on walls, things like that. And it was pretty creepy.
So what made you interested in this? What made you get into doing this, Greg?
I had friends with houses that were haunted that I grew up with, so
Okay.
that's what got me into it. And
Did those friends kind of join you for a while, or were those the friends that joined you, or it just was interesting to you as a kid and then you ended up doing it later on?
they were intrigued, but they were also scared, so no.
Okay. All right. That's cool, though, that it became kind of a hobby and a pastime of yours. All right. So if someone wants to, just chat with you about this, if they're interested too, can they get in touch with you? All right. How can they find you?
You can reach me on, you can email me directly at GTProductions at, GTProductions01 at AK, Ohio.
Okay. Great. So find you there. Facebook as well. Is that a good place to find you?
You can find me, Greg Torre.
Greg Torre on Facebook. Because I know, especially around this time of year, like there are people who are interested in this and may want to chat with you about it. So we'll connect them through your Facebook or through your email. All right. Well, thank you for coming out. Anything else that you want to share before we go?
No, I've got nothing else really.
That's about it. All right. What is this guy?
That was a tripod for the paranormal.
Okay.
It broke. One of the legs broke, and I converted it into a Steadicam rig for urban exploring.
All right.
So
very cool.
I recycle a lot of stuff.
I love that. Then you can reuse it for other things as well. And you have a YouTube channel, so let's throw that out as well.
I am on YouTube, GT Productions. So once again, you can search for me on the YouTube search bar, GT Productions, AK01 AK Ohio, gmail.com. You can just search for me there.
Great. And we'll find you. And isn't it called Ghosts of YouTube Past?
It is.
Correctly? Ghosts of YouTube Past.
Yep.
All right. So you can find Greg on YouTube, on his Facebook, and you can email him directly if you are interested in the paranormal and you want to chat with Greg. Can do so. All right. Thanks, Greg, so much for coming in. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And make sure you stay tuned because we've got more great stuff coming up next.